What's good? What's good? What is really good? This is DJ's Raw Uncut Truth, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Mornings with DJ. Man, we have a lot to talk about. Make sure to hit the like button. Share this video if you haven't. This is Raw Truth Media, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do a early show today. And man, I think this is a good idea. This is the call-in show. Remember, you're welcome to call in. It's anonymous, of course. So all you have to do is call this number that's on the screen, 857-799-9625. I want you to tell me what you think about the Hornets. Are they really trying to build around Lamelo Ball? Or is it lip service? Every time I watch the Hornets play, I don't know what they are. I don't know what they're trying to be. I don't know what they're trying to build around. So it's all in circles to me. Best Impact says, you were really good on DKM's channel. Killed it. Hey, man, I thank you for the feedback, Best Impact. A lot of folks have been hitting me up saying how much knowledge I've been, and that's it. It's to spread knowledge and to learn from people. Even if I didn't know anything, you got to ask questions. And this is the obvious answer to Lamelo, because we all do not know Lamelo personally. So in fairness to him, that's why I pointed out that you don't know what move he can make. You know, you don't know what move he can make when his contract is said and done. So if I'm the Hornets, and I want the Hornets to find a way to retain Lamelo, but they got to make sure that they're building around him. You cannot tell me that this team constructed right now. Yeah, peace and blessings to the sister Ashley Just Souls. I see you, my sister. HL Kid, what's good, brother? Make sure to like this video. Share this video if you haven't. In this thumbnail that you see right now is the perfect thumbnail on what we're talking about. When I look at the Hornets as constructed, I see a team that is they're in a pendulum, like I call it. I don't know if they're going up or down. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I'm puzzled just like you are. Now, if someone tried to tell me that the Hornets are below 500 only one game, so it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. Because when you have a franchise point guard, you're trying to go somewhere. You're not trying to stay in one spot and hope that only he can take you there. It takes a team. It takes synchrony. Peace to you, sister Macrina Daniels. She says, good morning, everybody. Hi, DJ. Peace and love to you, everyone. Peace and blessings to you, my sister. And happy holidays as well if you celebrate it. But every time I watch the Hornets, ever since Lamelo has came back, remember, I told you this, that they're going to find a way to mess up the flow. See, before Lamelo had to go into the COVID protocol, you can all admit that the Hornets were in sync. And here's the number to the call-in show, 857-799-9625. Give me your opinions. Tell me what you think on this topic. And let me know what you think. A Royal Perspective said the Hornets are a poverty franchise. And this is why I'm glad I don't work for a media conglomerate. Because, when you work for the good old boys, you can't say stuff like that. You can't say a franchise is a poverty franchise. And when I say it, luckily the Hornets fans who have been Hornet fans for years, they understand where I'm coming from. I've always respected the Hornet fans for being loyal to the team despite um, the problems that they have. I've always respected that. But it's time for a change. It's time for an upgrade. This team needs to have an upgrade. They need to have one. Oh, someone's calling right now. Let me see. Caller, you're on the line. Make sure your microphone is good.
Okay, is it good?
Yes. Make sure do you have a Bluetooth headset?
Uh, no.
All right. Comment section, let me know if you can hear them. So, brother, watching the Hornets all season and looking at James Borrego, and I'm going to ask the fan what you think. Do you think James Borrego is really positioning this team around Lamelo, or you think it's lip service? You already heard, I think it was last year, that they said it sounds good. Good. Last year where he compared Lamelo to Manu Ginobili. Now, we all know that LaMelo's game is not Manu Ginobili, but there was a reason for it because he's trying to turn him into that type of player. What do you think about the Hornets? Are they really building this right with LaMelo?
Morning, DJ. Morning, chat. Uh, Honestly, I don't believe that he's building the team around Lamelo. I think he's trying to make the Hornets into a system, kind of like Greg Popovich. Uh, all the pieces don't really fit. You know, the Hornets were really trying to build around Lamelo. I feel like they would have made a move already. At least bring up JT Thor or somebody. Just to show you trying to get somebody that fits with your point guard, or make a move for Miles Turner, or even a Sabonis. You know what I'm saying? Because all they need is a competent big man that can score. That's kind of skilled down there, can catch lobs, and they haven't done that. And Gordon Hayward, he's really holding the team back. I even believe, Rozier is, because, Rozier and Hayward, they're ball stoppers. They don't get if they not getting their shots up, they start forcing. They're not moving the ball. And that's LaMelo's game: move the ball, get the team involved, and then take your shots and be creative with the ball. And you know, Borrego, I don't know what he's talking about. LaMelo's like Manu Ginobili. That's false. He's more like a Penny Hardaway,
Mm-hmm.
Jason Williams, a more skilled Jason Williams with scoring the ball. He's nothing like Manu Ginobili. And I have all respect to Ginobili because I was a Spurs fan growing up. Tim Duncan was my favorite player growing up, so I respect him. But their games are nothing alike.
And speaking of Manu Ginobili, I respect Manu as well. Um, you can say that Manu Ginobili, if he was on another team and allowed, even if he was, let's keep it real. If Greg Popovich didn't have him as a 6-man role and had him as a lead scorer, everybody would have looked at Manu Ginobili's game different, even though we respect it. Correct?
Yes.
LaMelo Ball, you pointed out, Penny Hardaway. I see that in this game as well. Watching the Hornets, they don't run enough. Yeah, they score points. And here's the thing about stats. Sometimes it's a mirage. So you have people saying, well, look at the points. Look at what they're scoring and they must be running a high pace type of game. But when you watch the Hornets, do they really run?
They don't run at all. if you were watching them last year, you could say they run. Last year they ran a lot, and that's because last year they went with the younger players more. This year they going with the older players. How can you run when you got Plumlee out there? You throw him a lob, he catch the lob, bring the ball back down, pass out to Hayward. He's never finishing the lobs. He's not running the floor well. They passing the ball in the lane. He airballing floaters. That's not your game, buddy. You know, and they definitely not running. Lamelo passed the ball up to Hayward. Unless he's got a wide open leg, he bringing the ball back out. The only players I see that's running with Lamelo and doing what they're supposed to do is Oubre, Cody Martin, PJ Washington's out there doing what he's supposed to do, and that's it. Miles Bridges, I don't know what's up with him. I understand he's trying to get paid, but he's sacrificing the team. And what's going to happen when you get paid? Okay, you get one big payday. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, even if the Hornets pay him, how else are they going to build the team if you pay Miles Bridges? He's not that guy. Where you pay him, $150 million. He's not that guy. It's going to be Gordon Hayward all over again, just a more athletic player because he doesn't have the ball handling skills, any of that. His game is majority set up by LaMelo. Everything else he's doing is him forcing the ball and scoring, getting more opportunities. He would have been doing the same thing before LaMelo got on the team, and they would have been losing. He just wasn't getting those touches because why would you give a guy touches if you know he's not going to give your team winning? That's why he wasn't getting the touches before. He's just getting the touches now because the coach trusts him.
Right.
But he's not putting the team on to winning. And they're taking the ball out of LaMelo's hands way more. Last year, when they finally gave him the reins and he started starting, he was bringing the ball up every time up the court. I never saw Rozier touch the ball coming up the court. Hayward touched the ball coming up the court. Now Miles Bridges is as well. He was running the team, and that's why they were getting up and down the floor so much. And he was just passing out. People were finishing. This year they have more people on the ball. It reminds me like the Spurs system, how they have multiple ball handlers. Ginobili, Parker, even what's his name, Boris Diaw for a while.
Yeah, I remember him.
People handling the ball. It looks so familiar to the Spurs system, but they don't have the right players to even run the Spurs system. These players cannot run that. They need to be out running and running. Just because you have a guy like Hayward and Rozier in there does not mean you need to change your whole system for them because they're just not those type of players anymore. I could see if it was Hayward from his Utah days. And, Rozier, you don't need to build your system around Rozier at all, to be honest. He's not that guy.
And brother, shout out to Prime Time. I see you, my brother. Shout out to the homie Douglas Golden Child. He says, salute my brother DJ Ron Kachu, real one. LaMelo Holic in the building. Hello, everyone. Make sure to like the video, share the video. You know how YouTube is. Trex asked this question. He said, is Airbnb still a thing? What you think about Airbnb? Do you think that's still a thing, or you think that the coaches scrapped that off the playbook and try to politic around it?
Honestly, I don't think it's a thing anymore. Sometimes you can see LaMelo and Miles trying it, but they haven't been able to connect. I've seen it early in the season. LaMelo trying to get the oops and Miles, they're getting, deflected in the air, or Miles can't finish it, and it's because it seems like they don't have enough synchronization with it. Like they haven't been doing it enough. When you do things like that off of practice, when they first started playing with each other, you could see it in the practices. When you watch the old practices and stuff like that, the film that they used to put out, they would be practicing that a lot. It seems like the coaches scrapped it, and now when they try it in games, it's not going well. It seems like they took a lot of pick and roll, lobs out of there, out of the lineup. Because usually to get the roll man open, you have a cutter going through, so you're like clearing out the paint. You know what I'm saying? It seems like they took that out for real, so they could get more 3-point shots. And
Exactly.
That's taking efficient basketball out.
And see what you did? You broke down the game. You broke down the intricacies, the way that the ball moved, everything. So this is not lip service. These are folks who watch and know the game. Every time we say something about this team, a Shine or someone who is a Borrego stan, will point out, well, you're hard on the coaches. Now, throughout the years of watching basketball, the great coaches, good coaches, even bad coaches were constructively criticized. It comes with the territory. I mean, Phil Jackson won championships. I remember when the Lakers had what was it, like 05 or 04? The Lakers had no, not 04, but 05. Didn't have the year that they had before. He was criticized. It happens. Now, I want to ask you this, and shout out to the coach and Learn, the OG. What's good? Peace and blessings to you. Shout out to Pasadena. He says JB still needs to realize, no, stills need to realize what it is. He does. He need to wake up and smell the roses. You got your franchise player right in front of you. And brother, I want to ask you this. Watching high-level draft picks, right? Have you ever seen a point guard who was drafted in the top 3 pick not built around from the get-go? Like we seen point guards who didn't live up to their expectations. But have you ever seen a player not being utilized, not given a minute starting out? He had to come off the bench. It was weird. Have you ever seen that watching the NBA and the draft throughout the years?
I have not seen it. Even if you look in like recent memory, Trae Young, Luka, because we talking about generational talent here. We're not talking about guys that come out and they say need to develop.
Right.
We're talking about generational talent. So we comparing them to a Luka and a Trae Young. When they came out, Luka, they put him around shooters from the get go.
Mm-hmm.
Trae Young, they tried to draft wing players, that could defend, so that he wouldn't have to defend and he could carry the offensive load off the rip. They play him with a John Collins, a guy that could catch lobs, because we know that Trae Young is one of the best passers in the league.
Yes.
10 assists as a college freshman. So they put him in there with somebody that can catch lobs, shoot threes, and post up on a low block. That's why I don't understand why a guy like PJ Washington isn't in there with Lamelo more so. Because if you notice last year, PJ was in there a lot more, and he was converting off of those pick and pops, and he could catch lobs as well. When they couldn't be consistent enough with Zeller and Bismack, who I think are better options than Plumlee. Plumlee is just terrible. So yeah, I understand what you're saying when you're saying that they haven't been building the team around him, and they didn't give him the keys from the get-go. I didn't understand that either. It was a waste of time because, who did you have starting in there for him? Devontae Graham?
Yep.
What does Devontae Graham do that he can't do? Nothing.
Right. That was when that first happened. I was like, man, they try to use excuses. They try to use, they didn't have a summer league. Well, while the other rookies were starting, but not the number 3 overall pick. You know what I mean? James Wiseman, and this is not to get on him, but and shout out to the homie Superior Trucking. I'm going to read your comment after I say this, my brother. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget the number is in the chat if you want to call in. Right there. All the other rookies in his class, the 2020 draft class, they got playing time and everything. Lamelo, he had to come off the bench over Devontae Graham. Now, if this was a team, right, and I gave this example months ago, like I think like March or so, I said if this was a team where you had a Drew Holiday, right, starting out, and a Malcolm Brogdon on the same team, let's say they were on the Hornets, right, and Lamelo had to start off the bench, I would disagree at first, but I would understand. You get what I mean? Because those players have played in the league and they're veterans and they're playing at a high level. But Devontae Graham, and I think Devontae Graham, if he was a 6-man, he would be a solid player. But people talking about, well, Devontae Graham's doing well with the Pelicans, but they're not winning. He's taking all the shots. He's taking every shot possible. And I mean, that's a good fit for New Orleans, man. There's no expectations there. He could do whatever he wants over there. When Lamelo first came out of the bench, shout out to the homie Pope. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. When you first found out that Lamelo was going to come off the bench, what was you thinking? What was your first thoughts?
Man, I was like, they gotta be crazy. I was like, Jordan's gonna ruin them. That's how I felt because Jordan never has a good draft pick, and then you get a star like this, and he coming off the bench. Like, it didn't make sense to me, especially seeing as though I never wanted him to go to the Hornets anyway because I felt like it's just a bad franchise. At least the Knicks in the past they had some success. Back in the day, they're gonna do everything possible to make sure he's a star. And then the Pistons, they got a great history with back in the day where she was and Benoit. I mean, you know what I mean, with Chauncey Billups and them. So I just figured going to one of those franchises, they would give him the keys from day one, and he'd be able to learn from his mistakes early. Whenever he makes a mistake, even now, he's a second-year player, rookie of the year. He should be able to have the keys to do whatever he wants and to learn from his mistakes. As soon as he makes a mistake, Borrego takes him out the game. What was the last game? I watched every Hornets game. The last game, they were losing. I think it was to Utah. They were losing. Lamelo brings him back in the third quarter. He gets hot. Borrego sits him for, 13 minutes straight?
Yep.
And expect him to bring them back into the game at the end of the game. And they lose by, I believe 10 points while he was hot and he was bringing them back in the third. That's all Borrego's fault. Why would you bring in Ish Smith into the game, especially against Utah? What is he going to do against all that size? They have Gobert in the paint. What is he going to do?
Hey, bro, I don't know if you I don't know how many videos you watch on my channel, but was you there when I played the clip of James Borrego giving so much credit to Ish Smith? And this was a game when they were blown out. Like, they were literally blown out. And I think it was either let me see, I think it was the Suns game. It was the Suns game. I was like, what? He said, well, it helped trying to make a run. I'm like, you were blown out. This is stuff I'm talking about, man. Like, it's that psychoanalyzing.
He's one of those coaches that just, like, I don't know, he loves veterans. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's not like they're like, I can understand if it was a Lou Williams or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is even on 13 teams. Like, it's obviously something he's not doing right. And I think Ish Smith he's a good vet in terms of, like, like, he'll keep the team in line. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can help guys in the locker room with experiences that he's had in his 13 years. He's a good locker room guy, but he don't need to be playing 20 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? When you got a generational point guard time, it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's a mockery, man. It's a mockery. Now, they would claim, like, I would complain about the stuff, but when you see somebody with great talent and they're not being utilized, I have the right to complain. Again, I tell you, I'm not a Charlotte Hornet fan. I root for Lamelo. My team is the Lakers. But since one of my favorite players are on this team, I still want them to be ran right. I still want Lamelo to be utilized the correct way. Now, brother, everybody assumes that Lamelo is just going to stay with Charlotte the whole time, and that all they got to do is just give him a bag the next 4 years, and he won't go anywhere. I try to tell them, the Ball brothers, they run differently than most players. They got their own thing going on. They always they got that ruling class mentality. Shout out to the sister Shar Johnson. I see you. King C, I see you, my brother. And don't forget the call-in number in the comment section. But what do you think when people just say, all all they got to do is just give LaMelo the bag next 4 years, and he's gonna stay automatically. We don't know that. I don't know that. What do you think if the Hornets keep doing the stuff they're doing now?
Honestly, I think there's a great chance that he leaves. The only way I believe he stays, unless they fix the team, is you know the relationships he's built with the team. He seems to really care about Miles Bridges, Rozier, PJ. So I can see because he has a lot of loyalty towards his teammates and stuff like that, even from high school. Rocket Watts, Isaiah Jackson, and stuff like that. He tried to put them on multiple times. You know what I'm saying? In the industry and stuff like that, because LaMelo has a lot of connections since he's been 15, and I could see that's the only way he stays. Other than that, I believe is a huge chance because of his connection with his coach. The one that Coach Jermaine Jackson, I believe his name is.
Mm-hmm.
He could go to the Pistons. He has a great relationship with Jalen Rose as well. They always support him on their show. And I could see him going to the Mecca too. Those are the two teams I see him going to just because of LaMelo's style. They're not needing for money. None of the brothers. Jello, he chasing the NBA just because that's his passion. He don't need money. You know what I'm saying? These guys are rich. They've been rich since they was young. They got every endorsement deal. Like they could start doing social media influencing and making millions off of that.
Right. Did you see LaMelo's one-on-one shoes, the NB ones? I mean, they selling out like nobody's business.
Sold out
already. Like
sold out, and they don't got no colorways yet. Watch when they put the colorways up.
Woo, when they get that turquoise blue, I want them to get. I want that that instant white type of like all white. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking.
I actually saw that colorway. They had the the add up. It was lime green. They had the turquoise, the red, and they had that white on white that you're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. Reading the comments, Ashley just so says, I highly doubt he stays with the Hornets in its current state. It would have to, and sister, you are spot on. Like, even though I say don't, like, the Pope said he just got his. They look clean, doesn't it, Pope? That cocaine white. Man, shoot. I'm getting them joints. But Ashley is spot on, man. Like, even though you cannot predict what LaMelo would do because you can't predict what any ball brother would do. They always unpredictable. But you can say, unless they bring in a coach that believes in him, unless they bring in like a Mark Jackson, and it doesn't have to be a Mark Jackson, but a credible coach, at least a coach who has cachet in this league, man, that has a name in this league, that has a name for having relationships with, respectability with players. You know what I mean? Where a player would ask about this coach, they'll say, hey, this coach is that guy. I would have loved Mike D'Antoni to coach this team. And I know people talking about, well, he doesn't coach defensive teams. Well, the Hornets are last in defense, what I recollect, right? They're giving 120, 30, 40 points a game.
Hey, he had bad defensive teams, but he had them at least playing the passing lane, creating turnovers with a heavy offense. That's why they were winning so much. Like, even if you're not the best on-ball defender, you're getting the stops necessary. The Hornets don't get stops. They let teams get on long runs, like 13-0 runs and stuff like that.
They don't let them get stops at all, man. It's like a runaway train when you watch the Hornets, man. It's just, you don't know what's gonna happen. It's unpredictable. Brother, thank you for being on. You could call anytime. If you have some friends that want to call in, they could call in. You were very informative. And one more thing before you roll out. What made you rock with DJ's Raw Uncut Truth? What stood out for you to rock this channel?
Everything about the username, Raw Cut Truth. When I first listened, you just speaking facts. You had somebody else on here, a coach, I forget his name,
Coach
an
Joe.
older guy. Yeah, I think so. From last year, you guys were speaking the truth every day. So, I would come in here and listen. It's a smaller channel, but speaking the facts, and I just appreciated it. I would listen almost every day. I've been here since like day one.
Exactly. And brother, you seen it all, man. You seen everything they try to do with this channel. They really wanted this channel to be over with because we were speaking so much truth that the powers that be, they couldn't stand it, man. They couldn't stand it. But the beast here still to this day, it's only the most high is willing. It's only the most high is willing. Because like the wise person once said, nobody can silence truth. Nobody can silence real.
Right, right. Keep speaking facts, brother. I
Yeah, man.
appreciate it.
Always, man. This is the People's Channel. Y'all got a voice. That's the homie from Pennsylvania. Shout out to PA. All righty then. Now, when you call in, you don't have to have your name or anything on there. That's why these call-ins are very effective. I like this call-in style. The number is in the chat. Also, if you have a question, call in at 857-799-9625. Shar Johnson says, they foolish. The bag isn't enough because he's just going to keep getting injured and not getting close to winning a championship. It's got to be more than a bag. Again, these kids, these Ball brothers, they were raised a certain way. And they were raised the way their options. And when that time comes, LaMelo's going to look at all the stuff that the Hornets did for him and didn't do for him. And to say that this team is built around him is a goddamn lie. You can't even say that LaMelo got the keys to the offense. I can't say that. No one can say that because it doesn't look like it. There's some games he may have it, but other games he's the third option. And shout out to Superior Trucking. He was talking about Bowl. Here's the thing about Bowl. He's still a project, but I'll tell you one thing. Bowl will likely be better than anybody that they have at the 5 position right now. And he can shoot threes. And he can run. That's sad. Bowl is taller than all the other players on the Hornets. And he's willing to run up and down the court. Utila says, shout out to you, brother DJ from Uganda. Shout out to Uganda. Harambe. The Royal Perspective says objectivity. Yeah, this channel brings objectivity. I've always given credit to James Borrego. I've said that he's a good X's and O's coach, but it's not always about X's and O's, but more about ebbs and flows. Woo, I got to quote that. I got to quote that right there. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. It's not all about X's and O's, but about ebbs and flows. Man, y'all better know that. Shout out to the homie Rap God. Again, anyone could call in. The number is 857-799-9625. Now, we had the previous caller. He brought up the facts. He brought up what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong from a schematic perspective, also a relationship perspective. It's not all about, again, it's not about X's and O's, but about ebbs and flows. He's got to roll with the players. He got to roll with the high hand. Even if LaMelo is off, let him get comfortable. I don't need to see him looking over his shoulder at JB making that weird face that he always does when he makes a mistake. He's 20 years old. I repeat, LaMelo is 20 years old. He's going to mess up. So So LaMelo Ball can't even make a mistake anymore. And he's worried about, like, if I make this mistake, am I going to still be playing? He doesn't need to be thinking about that. You got to let these brothers cook, man. You got to let them cook. I mean, man, it's not about X's and O's. It's about ebbs and flows. It's about the building a relationship with the players to know that you have their back. Like the sister Ashley just pointed out, he has to learn how to play through mistakes. Also, now there was a couple times in the fourth quarter that JB would have him play, but have him play throughout the fourth quarter. He's got to get in the rhythm. The reason why LaMelo made a lot of clutch shots in high school and in the JBA and etc. was because he would play the whole fourth quarter or long minutes in the fourth quarter. An athlete's body and how they operate is like an engine. You got to give them fuel. You got to give them knowledge. You got to give them direction. And I question the direction of JB. Again, he has those Spurs colored glasses on. And he had to take those colored glasses out and put the Hornets colored glasses on and realize this team is the Hornets, not the San Antonio Spurs. It would never be the Spurs. It doesn't have the prestige as the Spurs. It doesn't have the history as the Spurs. He has to realize that. And here's the thing about coaches. Do you know that the opposing coaches always say great things about LaMelo? And I'm going to send this for y'all to see because this proves my point. This proves my point. Everything I've been talking about, it proves my point. I don't care about credit. I don't care about clout. I don't care about none of that. I live on an island. If anybody ever says, I need this, I'm trying to be like this, no. If I didn't do YouTube, I'll be chilling right now. But I'm doing YouTube to speak with the family. That's the difference. You know, like doing the morning show. I got my coffee right now. I'm good to go. But I cannot wait, and it's downloaded right now. I want to show y'all this because I've been telling people about the Hornets and what they do as a team. All right, it's loading right now. It is loading right now. So this is what the Quinn Snyder, one of the most respected coaches in the league, Utah Jazz coach, has to say what he said about LaMelo. And let me get this banner out too. He says, and I quote, when we talk about Phil, it's different to define, but he's got it. Good players see two guys. Really good players see three guys, and great players see everybody. He sees everybody. Now, Quinn Snyder, the head coach of the Utah Jazz, said this about LaMelo, the game they had a couple days ago. So if Quinn Snyder is saying it, then you know what's up. This is a respected NBA coach. He didn't have to say this about LaMelo, but that was one of his first thoughts. LaMelo can see the floor. He doesn't tunnel. He's not like Plumlee. You know how Plumlee always looking for Gordon Hayward to cut through and to give him the ball, telegraphing? He doesn't do that. Quinn Snyder said this about LaMelo. He sees the whole floor. That's what puzzles me. That's the main thing that puzzles me because, I mean, everybody on this team, they play like they're not going to get the ball back. LaMelo has shown the ability, the unselfishness that he's going to give you the ball back, that he's going to play to win the game, that he's not about just, oh, it's I'm going to ball hog and take away possessions. He's not about that. He's about winning. And when people understand it, when his teammates understand it, maybe they can get off this Schneider on losing games that they shouldn't be losing, or not finding a way to beat good teams. This is their problem. Again, the call-in number is right here. If you have any questions on this topic, please call 857-799-9625. Don't be afraid to call in, man. Everybody got a voice. This is Raw Truth Family, Raw Truth Media, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. When I seen this quote, I shook my head in approval. I was like, yeah, this is definitely it. This is definitely it right here. This is what it is. Rap God says Quinn Snyder basically gave credit to the Ball brothers without mentioning their names. Yeah. Shout out to the homie Slim, man. What's good, man? He said, what up, people? Peace and blessings to you, my brother. Peace and good energy. See, when you have star coaches, and I think Quinn Snyder is a star coach, because if Quinn Snyder, let's be honest, it's Utah. And yes, they have Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, but they don't have like everybody else on the team that are really those type of stars, but those two. Really, Donovan Mitchell is a star, even though Rudy Gobert is one of the best defensive players in the league. He's not offensively there yet. But what the team he works with, he's a great coach. And Douglas Goldenchild says that Jazz coach Quinn Snyder is a real one. He recognizes a superstar in LaMelo. Yeah, these coaches know a superstar when they see one. That's the difference. It's really sad that, again, opposing coaches will give LaMelo more credit, more respect than anybody else on the Hornets coaching staff. And I'm not going to say that James Borrego doesn't give LaMelo his props. He does time to time, but it's like here and there. It's like a reporter will ask JB, please analyze LaMelo's performance, and JB will probably be like, most likely would be like, well, I believe that LaMelo passed the ball well. He played within our system, and yes, he has to keep playing that type of – it's always cold language. Like, what do you mean playing that type of way? I mean, no, what LaMelo needs to do is play his way. I mean, Ashley, you're right on the money. It is backhanded props. I'm like, what do you mean once he plays our type of way? A shout out to Jaheim Nesbitt. He says, what up, DJ Raw Truth family? You know what it is. You know what it is. Thank you, Jaheim, for sharing all the videos, by the way. I see you. JB doesn't even know how to give a compliment. He doesn't know how to do it. He can try, but he doesn't know how to do it. Really, it's not let me rephrase it. JB knows how to give a compliment, but he selects who he gives a compliment to. That's the correct answer right there. That's the correct answer. Because when he's giving everybody else, Ish Smith, everybody else a compliment, he goes above and beyond. The OG Ant Learn says, JB always talking about his system. My question is, what is their system? Good question, Ed Learn. What is JV system? Oh, I think I know what it is. Uh, it's not a player friendly system. It's not a player friendly system. That's what his system is. It's coach centric. In today's NBA, is a players league. It's a players game. That's why they have the CBA. That's why they have all these other contractual obligations for the players. That's the truth. That's what they don't want to tell you. And Learn says players don't even have roles, but he talks about a system. Oh. And guess I got a call right now. Once we got heated up, I got a call right now. You're live. This is DJ's Wrong Cut Truth. What's good, my brother?
Yes, sir. How you doing? Shout out to DJ Raw Uncut Truth. Um, I just wanted to shout you out, brother, to let you know that you very, very much needed in the culture. You push the culture forward. You're about the unity, and you got the great content coming out. Your channel and live streams be fire. And shout out to you and keep up the good work and keep up the pace.
Oh, thank you, my brother. Thank you, man. Just mixing it up. This is the second day of the call-in show. Um, brother, we're talking about the Hornets. When you watch the Hornets, and this is your time to cook and give your full analysis of it. Um, I just put up a quote when Quinn Snyder, the head coach of the Jazz, by the way, was saying how Lamelo, he doesn't just see a couple players open, he sees the whole floor. He plays the right way. It's funny that all the opposing coaches give Lamelo his respect, and common sense would be if they had Lamelo, they would use him the right way. When you watch the Hornets, why are they not really building around Lamelo? Is it ego? Is it coach nepotism? What is it?
I think it's a summation of all of that. And one thing you might have left out is that trust.
Mm,
I don't know if they actually trust LaMelo Ball as a 20-year-old coming in, taking the NBA by storm. See, LaMelo Ball is bigger than the Charlotte Hornets. And Michael Jordan realized this because Michael Jordan went through the same phase and process in his career with the Chicago Bulls. And by Michael Jordan having the megalomaniac type of behavior when it comes to competition, not as a human being, I don't know what he is as a human being, but as far as competition,
right.
he doesn't probably want Melo to outgrow his organization. But
Mm-mm-mm.
Melo came in already outgrown an organization. The only organization that can hold somebody like Melo is an organization like the Lakers, Golden State,
Right.
Boston Celtics, those kind of stoic, dominant programs. Miami Heat have, won several championships. But if he comes to a team that has not yet won a championship or has not yet made a serious run in the playoffs, then a superstar like Melo, his celebrity is so dominant, he will overshadow the whole institution. And since Charlotte is one of those teams, they just fortunately came across Melo because other teams didn't draft him. They have to deal with that monster. That's the elephant in the room is Melo, celebrity, his play, and all of the accolades he have achieved thus far has outgrown the Charlotte Hornets. There's nobody that ever been on the Charlotte Hornets team or within the organization have the outside of Michael Jordan, that is, have the kind of cachet as a Lamelo Ball.
Man, that's real spill right there. Trust. Again, trust. It's and I mentioned Dex that it's not all about the X's and O's, but the ebbs and flows. It's about what you do behind the scenes in coaching, what your relationships like between a player and a coach behind the scenes, but away from the court. I don't from a distance, I don't think they really have the best player to coach relationship. And also, I want you to elaborate because we was on DKM's channel. Shout out to DKM. We was talking about we don't know about Lamelo's future moves. Would he stay with Charlotte? Dex, please elaborate. What you think if the Hornets keep going on this road they're on right now? What do you think Lamelo may do?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like I said, his cachet have outgrown the Charlotte Hornet organization, and they have yet to find a way to deal with it. They should have scraped out everything they have this year. I mean, they should have went all in on Melo. The same way they did for LeBron James when he came into the league, and he showed that he can hold up to his end of the bargain with his play, with his demeanor, and with his focus on the court. LaMelo has done that. He has shown those exact same traits as LeBron James did coming in as a teenager, fresh out of high school. Cleveland wiped the whole slate clean for him. And then it took him a few years to really get it going. But once he got it going, he never looked back. And you can credit Paul Silas for that. You can credit the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Dan Snyder, for that. Michael Jordan have yet to understand that when you have a player that supersedes generational talent, and he's humble, he's cool, he can get along with everybody, and he doesn't get in trouble off the court. He's not an embarrassment to your organization. You have to put that in the equation of wiping everything clean for this young man, and let's build around him immediately. Because if you don't, he's gone. I don't care what these people are talking about, no $200-some million contract he's going to leave on the table. Anthony Davis left it on the table. There's plenty of LeBron James left it on the table. Don't tell me what these dudes won't do who got cachet. You got to understand what cachet means, man. He can make that 10 times more anywhere on any team. So by them doing Liangelo Ball the way they're doing him, I know people are capping that he's got to go through a process. He got to learn how to put his elbows out. He got to learn how to slide his feet, turn his hips. He got to learn how to do this, do that. Listen, man, the NBA scouts in Las Vegas demanded to see Liangelo Ball. You heard it. They demanded to see Liangelo Ball. Not no Scotty Lewis, not no Kabukla, not Cameron McGriff. They demanded to see Liangelo Ball. That's why he got the minutes he got. Other than that, he might not have got those many minutes.
Exactly. And Dex,
this is yes, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to say this real quick because I know you cooking. The Pope said he called in. Yeah, if you call in, if you're on the line, I put it on hold. I'm allowing one person to speak in. So the homie Pope said he called in. Call in again. I'm gonna put you on hold. When Dex is done talking, then I'll have you on. This is the call in formula. So we're gonna allow one person to have their time to speak. So if anybody was on that list and left, just come right back in. I'll put you in the chat, and I had to put it on hold to let each person speak. So it's gonna be one by one. That's why.
I'm not gonna hold you there because I would love to hear the Pope take on it. Yeah. So when you have somebody like a Liangelo Ball who has celebrity and he has his own form of cachet and he brings his own fans, you don't have to generate no hope for Liangelo Ball in the spirit of fandom. You know what I mean? Because he already have that coming into the league. He have that coming into a team. You don't have to put all kind of posters and all this old type of stuff for Liangelo Ball. All you got to announce, Liangelo Ball has signed with such and such. The fans are coming. The ratings are coming. And so why not bring all that to the Charlotte Hornets and play with his brother, who he loved to play with his big brother? You saw the smile on Lamelo face when he was down there in Greensboro. Now, Liangelo is his brother. We know he is his brother. He don't have to be cheery and geared up like that just to see his own brother who he has seen for 20 years. That was a significant photo And that was a significant posture by LaMelo Ball, letting the organization know, I need him. I want him on the team, not soon, but now. All this process stuff. And see, listen, most of us who are coaches, players, current players, scouts, or anything to that nature, have all said Liangelo'S Ball deserves a spot in the NBA. He has shown enough because the minuscule minutes that they give him in a game, he is so productive in that span. So if you use mathematics and expand those minutes, that will expand his production. That will expand his efficiency. And that's what analytics is all about. So if you are a team that's now going into analytics like Charlotte Hornets right now, they're going more into analytics, then you should already know that. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You kind of choppy right now.
Yeah, okay. You should already know that will help your team in the long run, as well as help your team soon. I'm not saying he jumps into the Charlotte Hornets and take over the pecking order of a Booknight or Kai Jones or anybody that's currently on the team. But what I'm saying is that him being in Greensboro, right? This is what LaMelo was saying. Him being in Greensboro and you talking about a process, that's crazy because now the coach that just came out, the Greensboro coach had just breaking news that just came out talking bad about the Greensboro Swarm performance on the court in front of scouts. Because the scouts are looking at it like this, DJ, and you know it, and the people in the chat know it. The scouts are looking like this. Wait a minute, you got all this garbage on the court, and then you got a man that's shooting a high clip in efficiency, and you got him on the bench. So the coach had to come out and throw those players up under the bus, man, by saying they play selfish, and the basketball they played was very ugly. I'm paraphrasing. They were selfish. And we've been saying it all along, DJ, you know it. We've been saying it. But there's other people out there trying to sweep that part under the rug, like the Greensboro Swarm is the thing to be. It's the thing to see. And we know that's dirty basketball.
Wait, hey, Dex, hold up. Dex, the Wi-Fi is choppy. Let me do this real quick. All right. Let me know if you hear me.
I hear you clear.
Yeah, said it was hard to listen. Audio's choppy. Y'all give me feedback. How does it sound on my end and Dex end?
Yeah, I can hear you clear.
Okay. I hear myself pretty. They said it's still choppy. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. Every time hey Dex, every time I'm about to cook, man, so just every time.
I know that DJ. I don't want to be conspiratorial, but man, it seems like that.
It's bad on your end still. Okay. Let's see. Thank you for your patience, everybody, man. I hate when that stuff happens. Sound like a fan in the background. Let me see. All right.
Mic check.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yeah, it is the game within the game. It is the game within the game. Same sound in the background. What? Let me restart my mic. Let me see.
Great.
How about now?
Oh, that sounds real good.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Y'all let me know how that sound. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Clear. All clear. Oh, thank God. You know what I found out, Dex? It actually wasn't the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It was a glitch.
Oh, no. What?
No, I just checked the Wi-Fi, and the bar is right at the top.
Yeah, because I got good bars of mine. Plus,
Yeah.
I'm talking to the car phone.
Yeah, mine has a dipped one time, but every time this happens on the show, every time someone keeps it real, and we all cooking, this stuff seems to happen. Like on the show, it's so weird. I don't know if like a group of people just flagging my show. Like it has to be like a organized group that just flagging my show that's causing these delays or something because it's weird. Can you hear me, Dad? Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Good. I was saying that maybe it's some like a big group of people or a group of people just flagging the lines all the time, and maybe that causes the glitch.
Like Jack told Helen, ain't no telling.
The higher ups. Oh yeah.
So in my conclusion, that that coach threw those players under the bus for playing that dirty basketball. Because like I said, the scouts actually, wanted to see Jello. I mean, that was one of the main things about the Greensboro Swarm that was a positive, is that they have a potential of having a new star coming into the NBA. Outside of that, the players are just regular. There's nobody's eye popping. And I'm not saying Jello is some Dr. J or some new form of Moses Malone or something like that. But what I'm saying is that Jello's participation in the NBA is a plus. It's a positive. And NBA is about business. Their bottom line is about business. They want to be in the black rather than being in the red. So when Liangelo comes into the NBA, which he will come, Charlotte can't hold him back. He will come. The coach knows that the players that he currently has, he had to do what he do. He had to say what he say, is because the scout's going to be like, wait a minute, what's going on in Charlotte? And whatever the scouts see, that's what the scouts report. So it's not only the players are getting scouted and the players are not getting evaluated, coaches and staff is getting evaluated as well. But see, they don't want to talk about that part.
No.
So this coach got to cover his hiney. You understand what I'm saying, DJ?
Mm-hmm.
This coach in Greensboro have to cover his hiney by saying he do not co-sign the dirty basketball that was being displayed right there live on TV. So Lamelo sees this. He's like, wait a minute, man. If these guys are playing selfish basketball, which Lamelo Ball, Lonzo, and Liangelo'S are not groomed to play, they're not groomed to play selfish basketball. Then why is the person who is unselfish sitting on the bench while the selfish people running the asylum?
Mm-hmm. Talk to him.
So that's why that coach had to throw all those players who was out there trying to front in front of those NBA scouts and display a dirty version of basketball. He had to disassociate himself with that quarter of basketball that they played that was despicable.
Man.
So yes, Liangelo sees this, and it's going to be hard. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be hard to convince that young man to stay in that Charlotte market. I don't care how many times the baby comes to the game. I don't care how many times J. Cole comes to the game. Would you rather have Will Smith come to your game? Would you rather have Denzel Washington come to your game? Talk to me. Yes, sir, DJ. I'm done.
And one thing, man, Dex, you've been supporting this channel before I was doing lives. You know what I mean? Before I was like, you didn't start supporting this channel once it got popular. Once it, I think December of 2020. once I got 1,000+ subs. You were there in the beginning, man. Before you go, I wanna ask you, from then to now, what is your overall view of this channel right now, where it's at and where it's headed?
Well, like I say, I love your channel. That's why I always come. I listen to your streams whenever I get a chance to. I appreciate Coach Joe being a part of it.
Right.
Coach Joe actually was one of the individuals that encouraged me to become more part of YouTube landscape because I seen what he was about and how he was connecting to the youth, and that's what I'm about, connecting to the youth. And I was like, well, he's smart, he's educated, he has knowledge, he has history, and the youth is willing to listen to that.
Right.
And so I gave it a crack. You put me on. I think AB put me on before. I think Ballbacks put me on before. So I got more and more comfortable. And then when you introduce Flight, and the rest is history. You follow what I'm saying? So I love what you're doing, DJ. And the pattern and the format that you have on your show has been a beacon for the culture.
Thank
It
you.
has been a serious beacon for the culture, and your voice is just outstanding. So let's I mean, it's very tantalizing. So let's get here. It's not tantalizing.
This is
Let's not rule that out. You know, no homo, but let's not.
Yeah,
rule that out.
Dex. I had a subscriber. She about like 40 some years old, 48 years old, almost 50. She said she compared my voice to Billy D. Williams. I said that's an honor, man. You know, grandma and them know Billy
Very
D.
White. Mm-hmm.
Very white.
You got a voice made for radio, man. Yeah, you damn sure got a voice made for radio. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's an attraction in itself. Just to see who's behind this voice. I mean, this voice is significant. You know what I'm saying? It's damn near rivals Morgan Freeman.
I need to be doing some voiceovers.
Yeah, I was like, man, who's behind this voice? Who's the DJ guy? You know what I'm saying? And then your takes were so good and so upfront and unfiltered. I was like, wow, this guy is really standing on his own. He's not coveting no company, towing a company line, or he's no sycophant. He's no yes man. And so it was very charming, you know, to hear a young man like yourself to even get my attention, to garner my attention. Because my attention is not easy to garner. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because I'm about my business. I'm about my bread. I'm about my lifestyle. So
right.
You just can't take me out of what I'm trying to do in my time to come to listen to something on YouTube for extended period of time, that is. So, yes, I love your channel. I love the direction it's going. I appreciate you. You're very positive for the culture. You push the culture forward. And young men like you need to keep the pace and never yield nor surrender at no time. Don't drop the sword. Don't throw away your shield. Armor yourself and keep it pushing.
Mm-hmm. No doubt, no doubt. That's Dex, all access Dex, that is. And thank you, brother, for
calling
supporting.
live from Pasadena, California.
Yeah. Shout out to Cali, man. Day one supporter, man. Day one, a friend, a OG that gives wisdom. And I appreciate you. You know, through this YouTube stuff, I'm learning, man. I'm learning that how to move on YouTube. For those who don't know, and Dex will tell you, there's a lot of good that comes with it, and then there's a lot of you gotta watch your steps. But as long as you operate in positivity and try to work with people and try to be that beacon of light, you could create great things with other content creators. Is that right, OG?
Yes, sir, brother. And like I said, you know, keep it pushing. You're very well known in this YouTube landscape. People appreciate you, and just know that you appreciate it in a good way. You follow what I'm saying? And
right.
They want more of DJ, not less of DJ. That's always a good thing.
You heard it from the man himself. All access Dex. You can catch him on a lot of platforms. Number one, Flight Sports TV, the voice of the voiceless. Subscribe to his channel. Sometimes he's at the Pope B. Frank's channel. Positive brother. He was on DCAM's live the other day. He's the man, and thank you so much. So that was Dex on the line. Great call, Derek. Great call. Let me see. Douglas says, I love seeing everyone coming together. Great energy, great vibes, great conversation. That's what it's all about. HL Kid said, you remind me of Theo. Oh, someone's calling in right now. That's probably the Pope. Yo. Is that the Pope B. Frank in the building?
DJ Baby.
Yeah.
Raw Uncut, man. What it do?
Oh,
Everybody.
good,
DJ,
man.
what's going on? I love the show.
Yeah, man. This is definitely the people show. You know, it's funny, man. When we had that glitch, I was like, wow, man, these shines, man. They hate what to see when brothers come together, don't they? But that's just the game within the game, brother.
Yeah. They playing it.
Mm-hmm.
They playing the game within the game.
And I'll say this, bro. I think it's beyond YouTube. I think it's not even just YouTube, but other folks that hate to see this camaraderie, unison. Brother, you have the floor, Pope, and subscribe to the Pope B. Frank. Good brother, talks about everything the sports talk about, the Ball family, life, hip hop, everything. Are the Hornets really building this team around Lamelo, or are they trying to just fool the public that they are?
Oh yeah, they trying to fool the public, man. It's time for our boy Melo to go. It's time for him to go. It seems like everybody, I'm this close to calling out. Hey man, it's time to demand a trade up there now, because we ain't got time to be playing around. Fuck waiting until you're a free agent. We see what's going on. Melo don't like this shit. The game planning is lame. It's like I tried to get with it. You know, I tried to understand JB. Like, okay, Melo is the type of player you can't teach him too much. So I'm gonna try to teach him just about the smartness is of breaking down the game, when to take over, when to get your teammates involved, so on and so forth. Something that Jordan and Kobe was phenomenal at. And so I was like, okay, maybe he got a point with doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, sit down. That was too much right there. Real quick, come here. Let me holler at you. But that's not it no more. Because he like y'all was saying earlier. I think one of the first guests that came on was talking about how he sat on the bench for 13 minutes, let Ish Smith in there, and then brought Melo back in. Like, that's ridiculous. It ain't that much punishment in the world. Not for your star player. And so clearly to me, they're not treating him with the respect, because he deserves the respect. This kid works tremendously hard, been working hard. I mean, this dude been working so hard well before, imaginable. I'm talking about he remembers playing at 3 years old. Like, he remembers that. He remembers shooting on a 10-foot goal at 3 years old. So he been putting in his work for so long, and then with the God-given abilities that he has, y'all sitting here, we all, like DJ was, Dex was just saying, shout out to Dex. He was just saying, everybody else can see it. Everybody else can see this dude is the truth. He's beyond the truth. And his shoe sales will tell it so too.
Right.
I mean, the young man put out some shoes not even a week ago, and they're gone. They gone. And this is around the same time where the owner of the Charlotte Hornets, the king of kings when it comes to selling shoes, came out, the cool gray 11s came out the same damn time. He competed with Michael Jordan in shoe sales. I don't think people heard me. Even though I said that loud as hell, I don't think people hear me. Don't nobody compete with MJ when it could, not even LeBron James, not even Kobe Bean Bryant. When MJ drops, I don't care who drops. Yeah, I'm not copying it. I'm getting the J's first, and then later, maybe, if your shit's still on the shelf. Excuse my French.
No, you good. You good.
So to see this and to see that this young man is resonating with the world, not the stage, but the world has resonated with this young man's play. How in the hell hasn't the franchise that drafted him? How they don't know? This is a super duper star. You don't put him on no bench for 13 minutes. Never. Not if you're trying to win. So I'm sitting up here looking like, okay, if this how y'all want to play, then you got Jello down there in Greensboro yanking him around, yanking his jersey, you know, and not even to get in the game, just yanking his jersey, stringing him along. Yeah, man, just you haven't played basketball in some years, and organized ball. Now you just here. Let's develop you. Let's get you all the way in there in the facility and playing with the guys and all of that. Don't worry about any minutes. We brought you here for a reason. And you just keep working. Like, once again, these dudes deserve respect. They have been killers all their lives. It's no way a guy who led the high school, California high school scoring should be going through this type of stuff. It to me, it's the only thing we've been known about his basketball game well before NBA.
Right.
We knew who Liangelo'S was. So the only thing was, can he play on the level of the NBA like his brothers? Okay, well, give him action. We always believed he could. Once they gave him action, he showed them immediately. I'm not too far behind them two. Like, them two was killing the league. They starters in this NBA. And them is my bros. I'm right there too. Like, I'm just as smart as they are. My basketball IQ, I learned the same shit that they learned that y'all loving from them. I got that too. Plus, this is an NBA of 3-point shooting nowadays. I'm the best shooter. You can arguably say I'm the best shooter in the NBA. It's arguable. So it's like, how can y'all not use me on no teams? Y'all just went and picked up Joe Damn Johnson, who 40 years old, ain't played in 40 years. Y'all think this dude ready before me? I just picked up 5'4" Isaiah Thomas, who ain't played in 40 years. So it's politics. It's a game within a game for sure. Go ahead.
Hey, Pope, you cooking, my brother. I just wanted to chime in, my brother. Like, this ain't no damn, what we talking about? This ain't no ball verse, like, type of conspiracy thing. This ain't no, this is just what we seeing. And like the sister Ashley just pointed out, a lot of folks try to give the benefit of the doubt of this franchise. I've seen people who are fans of Lamelo. They try to give this team, this whole organization, the benefit of the doubt. But we're not seeing it. And it's obvious. If you think, again, you see all the franchise players in this league, Trae Young, John Moran, Luka, they're that guy. They have the usage rate. They're the first option. I've told people that the Hornets play LaMelo Ball like a third option. They don't play him like a first option, because I guarantee you, if LaMelo was the first option, and I'm being a little conservative with the stat line, but probably average 28, 10 and 8. Or he could average more. You never know. But he will average high stats. So what do you think about that the point I try to show to the family?
Okay, hold on. Okay, so about Melo, if he played the proper minutes, his stats would be up?
Yeah, really, not even the minutes. Because there was times he played 30-plus minutes, but it'd be spot duty minutes. I'm pretty much saying if LaMelo was the overall number one option.
Oh, they'd be winning. He'd be leading. He'd be top 5 MVP candidate.
Right.
They'll be winning. I think they know this. Somebody just said, they tanking, I think. I feel like we are starting to see that. Oh yeah, HL Kid, shout out to Kid.
Yeah.
I feel like we are starting to see that the Hornets are losing on purpose now. They don't want to be a winning team. Now, what I'm gonna say to that kid is it'd be smart to fucking lose right now. This year, listen, even if now I'm not giving JB no kind of credit, but check me out. Because I was even talking about 76ers tanking, should tank. A lot of teams that's not gonna get to that promised land, this is a year you might want to tank. Because this draft class coming in, too, boy. If the Hornets can line themselves up to get a Chet Holmgren or that shooting guard Poncho from Duke, something like that, one of these top premier players, they get into that lottery again and go get Melo, one of them type of dudes. Plus free agency, make some moves, or before this trade. Hey, you know they could probably. I don't know, man. I'm not into losing. So if I'm running the franchise and I see we got a good enough opportunity to make some noise, then that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, it definitely look weird how they playing kids nowadays. They're not playing with the same energy, chemistry, none of that they was playing with before Melo went down with this COVID. It seemed like he went out with the COVID. They won a couple games without him. I think they start smelling themselves.
Oh yeah.
From JB, you know, yeah, they start smelling themselves like, oh, we don't need that dude. Like we pretty good. Like, you know, he not the and because they hear it too. Believe you me, even though they his teammates, they hear it too, y'all. They hear Hornets ain't nothing without Lamelo. They hear this. They hear Bridges, you trying to do too much. Bridges hear this. Rozier ain't the answer. Need to trade. They hear everything we talk about. The players, the teammates. So believe you me, when he ain't there and they can get a W or whatever, and they self-conscious like, yeah, see, we don't need that nigga. Even though they not, you know, don't tell him nothing like that, but they in their brain, they thinking we good. We good. Selfishness. And I don't think you can win like that. I always, when I get my teams together, DJ, whether my AAU teams, after about the first good month of practice, I make the kids vote who the captain is. Who you think is the captain now for who works the hardest, who does this, who does that, who's the best player on the team. Basically, I break it down to that. Who's our guy? And if we even if we got four nice, I'm talking about dumb nice. No, who's the nicest out of you four? Okay, I'm gonna everybody identify this and know this on the team. Nigga, he's the man. And everybody, we need all these others to win. But when it comes down to a play out of a timeout, or we need a bucket, or whatever the case may be, situational status, we know who we going to. That's important. We got to know what the hell we doing. We got to have an identity. And so if we confused on who to go to, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. So we got to get that out the way first.
Facts, bro. And this is the Pope B. Frank. Subscribe to his channel if you haven't. I'm glad Big Spell won. Shout out to you. I'm glad you pointed this out, Big Spell. He said the Hornets are trapped with that Gordon Hayward contract. Now, I made a suggestion, and I've seen it happen throughout the years of players giving bad contracts. For the Hornets to ever trade Gordon Hayward, they got to take some of that contract, even though they trade him, because that's the only way a team will take him. Gordon Hayward could help a playoff team. He just can't be the main guy. And he gets injured a lot. But if Michael Jordan could just take that L, right, all is forgiven. If you could find a way to trade Gordon Hayward, all will be forgiven. And
right.
What do you think about Gordon Hayward? Do you think he's a help to this team, or you think you think the Hornets need to do everything they can to trade him?
He's definitely a cancer. He's a cancer to the squad.
Oh man.
They need to do everything. He's a cancer, just his whole presence, even if he ain't playing. His presence, I don't like it.
Oh, you see it too, huh?
And Yes, man. It's depressing. It's like you walk around with this. I'm Utah Gordon Hayward. I'm what was that college he went to?
Butler.
Yeah, I'm Butler Gordon Hayward. I'm Utah Gordon. No, you're not. You're garbage. You're not that dude no more. I can't stand with players still think they got it and they don't. Like, come on, bro. You know you don't got it no more. You know that. And just because you got that contract, thank God you got that contract to make
Oh
up
man.
because, as far as like, you should be thanking your lucky stars for that contract. Now, after that, I mean, don't people know when they don't got it? That's I hate. It's just like an ugly person that thinks they cute. Like, my nigga, don't you look in the mirror every day? Don't you see yourself? You ugly. You feel me? Stuff, like straight up. It's like Gordon Hayward the same with me, man. It's like, bro, you know you're not that dude. So stop. When the coach, you should be smart enough player if you want to win to say, nah, that ain't the right game plan, man. This dude Lamelo is the truth, coach. Why are we going to draw up the first 3-5 plays to me? I mean, thank you that you believe in me like that, but to be frank, I'm not that guy.
You know where
I'm not
Gordon
that guy
Hayward
no
is
more.
at in his career, right?
On the down end of it.
He's in the upper room when Jesus comes. He's in the damn upper room.
Yeah, people don't know DJ got them real vocals. He ain't just got the radio voice. Doug can sing.
Yeah, man. I had to bring that to church. I ain't went to church in years, but I had to bring it back in the day.
Man. Yeah, you know what I mean? We'll be there. But no, man, I think it's about time to put the pressure on the Hornets. If I'm LaMelo Ball, and even if I'm LeVar Ball, I'm gonna tell my advice to young Melo, my son, take yourself on into that office and turn the heat up on him. Tell him this is you. I'm talking about demands, nigga. You need to go. People need to understand how you flex. You got to know how to be able to flex your muscle. So go in there, Melo, and tell them, listen, y'all either start running this shit around me, bro, or I want to be traded. Y'all either bring my bro up too, or start giving him at least some damn minutes over there on the Greensboro Swarm. I don't want to be here. Serious. Go in there and grab your nuts and go and tell them boys, hey man, I'm cool on the way y'all trying to play me and the way y'all trying to play my brother. So I see y'all with the foolery, and we not with that. So you either gonna get right or I'm gonna get gone.
Any last words before we go on to the next caller, Pope? I appreciate you for calling in. Anybody that's listening, you're free to call in. This is the People's Channel. Again, we're just telling you how we see it. We're not trying to complain or over complain, but I don't want to go every show, every video talking about what Charlotte got going wrong. If they just do the simple things right, if they just give LaMelo the keys, I think you will see less complaining. What you think?
Right. Yes, definitely. I think people would be happy with the Hornets. I think the Hornets would be still in the 4th, 5th seed type of situation. And they'll be making the battle in the playoffs if that happens.
Right on, right on. That is the Pope B. Frank. Thank you for joining the show, my brother. Subscribe to his channel, the Pope B. Frank.
Oh, yeah, and one last one. I will be going live after you, DJ.
All right, man. That's the homie Pope, man. Good brother, man. Man, good brother, man. He was again, fans are fed up, man. Fans are fed up. They're fed up, man. They really believe that the fans of LaMelo Ball, the LaMelo-holics, whatever nickname you give a LaMelo fan, they really believe that they're not hip to what's going on. They have some nerve to think that they don't watch how he's being played. And here's the call-in number right here, 857-799-9625. 857-799-9625. And we have someone in the lobby right now. This is Raw Truth. Who's this speaking?
And this is Nicole.
Hey, Nicole, make sure my video in the background's not playing. I can hear it.
Okay, I'll cut it out.
Hey, Nicole, how are you doing today?
Hello.
Hey, Nicole, how you doing today, my sister?
I'm doing great.
That's good. That's good.
There's
That's
a couple
good.
of things I wanted to say.
Oh yeah, let it out.
Yeah. You know, I've been watching the Hornets, and I understand other people talk about, oh, they are family, oh, they together. I don't see that because I feel trade them all instead of Lamelo. I know y'all high on Miles Bridges, but low-key Miles Bridges is doing some stuff. He does. I watch everything. Like, if a video comes up on YouTube, I'm on it, I'm watching it. And on one of those Real Access or something like that, they were talking about, oh, what you would give to people for Christmas. And he said he'll give LaMelo a book because he needs to read. What kind of mess is that?
Yeah, I saw that too.
Showing up on the court. People not seeing it. It's not just that he's trying to get the bag. And you see that joy that you would see in LaMelo. You don't see that now. I'm not saying he doesn't love the game. I'm not saying that. But I think there's a whole lot of mess going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Man, you are cooking, sister. Man, it's weird, man. I again, people keep talking about, oh, this is just conspiracy talk. This ain't no conspiracy talk. You think people want to talk about how bad the Hornets are every day? I don't.
Right. And I just feel like, just like we see it, he's there. He sees it and he feels it because he's not showing it. Like people say, oh, they said whatever in the interview. What you expect them to say? That's their job. They're supposed to say, we don't like this cat. Is that what they're supposed to say?
Right.
You know? Of course they're going to say glowing, that they see the way the tide is going, so they jumping on the tide or whatever. But I believe the locker room is not healthy. I believe we see the result of what's happening behind the scenes and the jealousy and whatever. We see that on the court. And as say a parent, like if you have kids and you see different, you nip it in the bud immediately. Look, no, we're not going to have that. Brothers and sisters not going to fight, whatever. As a coach or an organization, you would be like, oh, wait a minute. This is our guy. If you don't like him, y'all can step. You remember Graham? He out of here.
Yeah.
Y'all want to join him?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But they're not doing that. So I think he's playing within a system that he can't help at the moment. I believe he hates it that they're not winning. He hates it because just like we know why they're not winning to some extent, he knows it as well. But it's certain things he can't fix. He can't have the ball in his hands the way he needs to have it in his hands. I cringe every time the ball is given to Gordon Hayward. I see these other people, and they're doing ISO or whatever, and it's okay if but some people are chucking up shots, and it's like, dude, wait a minute, wait. I see this stuff in elementary school, middle school, uh, sometimes in high school. I shouldn't be seeing this in the NBA. Y'all got to get it together. But
You ain't lying.
it shows you when other places, other teams, as you said, coaches, players, rave reviews regarding LaMelo, rave stuff, giving examples. You can see them light up when they're talking about them. So why is it not like that at home? Why is it not like that with the Hornets, with JB, with whoever? They still treat him like this kid that's spoiled, and they trying to offset all the accolades he's getting elsewhere so the other kids won't feel bad. That's crazy. This is the NBA. We supposed to have a star, right?
Exactly. And Nicole, you've seen sports around for years, and HL Kid is right. It's good to have a woman's perspective on this, because especially a sister, because when they keep it real, they keep it real. They ain't sugarcoating anything. Shout out to all the sisters who support Raw Truth. It is a family. When you watch the Hornets and you see JB always looking at LaMelo, always looking at him, when he messes
always
up,
has a scowl on his face. Mm-hmm. It's like a frown. It's like but he never that same energy with the other players. No matter what they do, never that same energy. If he was the same way across the board, I could say, okay, it's just him and his way.
mm-hmm.
But he is only like that with LaMelo. He don't. If they're talking about a game where they lost, he's blaming it on LaMelo. What coach does that? What coach says this player, it's your fault? What coach does that? Now you address whatever in the film room, back in the locker room and doing practice. Who does that? That is crazy. So that's why I know it is not, I don't care what anybody said. And then people say, oh, keep Miles Bridges. Nope. You got to go through. Because he don't understand who the person is. He's trying to latch on to his coattails doing X, Y, Z.
Right.
His playing is out. Because he's looking at the guy and he's like, oh, okay. So that's what I need to do. So whatever. Instead of saying, okay, I can be Robin to your Batman. Because clearly, if Miles Bridges was the guy, he would have been the guy.
Right.
LaMelo just got there. You know what I'm saying? He would have been the guy all the time. So instead of whatever, he like, hey, I'm gonna do whatever. I can do this too. Oh, I'm gonna and I'm gonna throw shade at you whenever low key shade that only certain people get. I think it goes over other people. Hey, they think they joking and whatever. But on that level, ain't nobody joking. He's saying whatever. He's trying to throw him under the bus whenever he possibly can. It was another time he said something in an interview where he said LaMelo, when he was talking about rapping, and he was saying, oh, LaMelo's scared to rap because he got a big fan base. So that ain't nothing that you would tell an interviewer.
Yeah, I remember that.
You would say to, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't trust him.
There's too many chatty patties on this team, man. I mean, LaMelo would be wise to not tell his deepest secrets to any of his teammates. I know I wouldn't if I had teammates like that. Come on now, you're going to say that. And Big Spell once said the Hornets should have just developed their young talent. They didn't need to sign Terry Rozier or Hayward. I remember when I first said that, Nicole, I think this is in January on the show, there was so many folks criticizing what I said. I really didn't care, but I'm about truth. And when I see things that don't make sense, I'll state it. And I said, why are you keeping all these older players when you're not going anywhere? You're not going to be a 3 seed or a contending team. You might as well build with the young guys.
It's kind of like they see it, but they don't. It's like they're giving in. If they, okay, you made these mistakes and you wrong. Okay, you was wrong. So it takes a big person to say, you know what, I was wrong. You the one. We're gonna build around you. But it's like they're trying to save face with the NBA organization, period. Like so many people are really against them. And they'll say, well, why are you doing that if you signed them? So just because they signed them doesn't mean they're not working in a certain parameter.
Right.
Just because you signed them doesn't mean you're not working in a certain parameter. Like how you say, JB is going to be the coach. They're not letting go of JB.
No, they're not.
I think JB is a token person in the NBA. I know that sounds wrong.
You said, oh man, you ain't lying though. He is a token, man. Let's call it what it is.
So they keeping him on. It's like it's keeping him relevant. Like the reason Gordon Hayward is on the team in the first place is like it's a certain fan base that they feel is keeping them relevant, and it's an old school way of thinking. Well, come on now, this is ridiculous. Here I am. I'm 50. I got a jersey waiting on my shoes for Christmas. So why are you staying with this old form or this old way of thinking when it comes to your organization? Now, if I can buy the jersey and the shoes and will wear them proudly, the next person will. I know it's 50 million people out here. My son said he wanted some. I said, oh, I'm sorry, they sold out. I'll get you some the next go round. I know that's awful, but hey, that's how I feel. This is something I want for myself.
Right.
I know it's a ton of people who are like that all over the world. Not just in North Carolina, all over. But I don't know. They have something good, and they're really messing it up. Because it's hard for me to even watch if LaMelo's not playing.
Oh, yeah. There was some streams we didn't even do when LaMelo wasn't playing. We ain't about to watch no dang Gordon Hayward, Mr. Glass show that's in the upper room. Because he's definitely in the upper room.
I know.
I mean, he's out of there.
I think it's crazy. I think I don't know where the organization is, but I just know it's turmoil behind the scenes. It's turmoil behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And you see these other people, like you say, stat padding.
Right.
During times when, like, really, it's not really making a difference. And then where's Rozier at?
Right.
Where's he at? Where's the play? Where's the ice in the veins? What happened? It just disappeared?
I'm wondering. I'm looking around.
That's what I'm doing all the time thing. Maybe one game off, another game every now and again, but it's been a no-show for him for quite a while. I'm just saying. I look at these people and I'm just like, just trade them all. We start over fresh with them. When I say all of them, like, Oubre is doing good.
Right.
He's playing his role. When I say them all, I'm looking at the starting lineup. Hayward and Rozier. Nope. There you go.
And
Plumlee. No.
and Miss Nicole, man, Miss Nicole, I'm so glad that you called. And Nicole, you can call anytime. We love your wisdom. We love your support for Raw
Well, thanks
Truth.
for having me.
Yeah, that's Nicole on the panel. Yeah, I'm gonna have everybody have a chance to speak. We have somebody in the panel. Any last words before you roll, Miss Nicole?
No, that's it. I enjoy your show. I mean, I listen to quite a few shows, but I've been with your show for quite a while, and
Yes.
I really enjoy it. So keep on what you're doing.
You too. That's Miss Nicole.
All right. You take care.
You too. Much love. All righty then. That was a great call by Nicole. Shout out to all the sisters who call in. You guys do a great job. We got another one on the line right now. Let me see. Caller, you're on the line.
Yes. I'm calling from New England, and I've been following your show. I just have one quick couple of observations. To me, James Borrego has what I call big head cellulitis.
Oh, man.
You know, I saw the thing where he said, well, just imagine where Melo will be in 5 years. To me, which was code for just imagine after I coach him for 5 more years. Melo is an exceptional basketball player, and like LeVar says, less coaching is the best coaching when you have thoroughbreds. And it's hard for me to even look at the games anymore because of what Borrego's trying to do. I'm just glad that it looks like all those boys have a strong mind. Now, the other thing I wanted to just bring up is, and I want your opinion on this, I think that Puma is going to step in on LaMelo's side and tell his people, you know that contract that LeBron has with Nike?
Yes.
Guess what? We're going to up it, and all you got to do is leave. All you got to do is leave Charlotte, because they're going to realize that no matter how many shoes they sell, I'll give you an example, they're not going to pick up that many more sales in Michael Jordan country. But if he goes to a New York or California, Jordan can forget it. From a marketing standpoint, it's going to behoove Puma to step in and go, look, we know this is only the first year, the second year of the contract, but hey, let's redo the contract we have now. We're going to throw in a sweetener down the road. All you got to do is, the rookie contract things. I don't know that much about how the rookie, his extension goes. People have said he ought to take the extension and then ask for a trade. My attitude is he doesn't need the money. So if the powers that be that are looking out for him can say, hey, you don't have to play the game LeBron does. You don't have to wait till you're 90 years old to get $1 billion. We're going to put that on the table now. All you got to do is leave and go to a major metropolitan team. Then let's see what Charlotte does. And then the only other thing I wanted to say, and I apologize for taking up you guys' time.
No. You're cooking,
Jello.
brother. You're cooking, brother. You have the floor.
Follow that stupid coach. Okay. Since when do you have a video coordinator as the head coach of a G League team? And then I found out that he's mimicking himself behind James Borrego and doing the same things that James Borrego does, so that when the guys go Hornets, they are properly prepared. Well, that's a big ego boost for Borrego, with having this loser with a room temperature basketball IQ running up to him, sucking up to him, asked him, well, why did you take Vincent Plumlee out? And then Borrego can act like, master to infant. But my thing basically is, Jello is doing the best he can. He's got real good stats. I've gone through and looked at all the G League stats, and this is what people need to do. Go to the NBA G League, look at all the three-point shooters, and look at how many people in the G League that has played at least Jello has played in 8 games. Lower it to at least 6 games and see how many other players have a better shooting percentage, 3-point wise, than he does. He always has the best plus minus, but none of that gets basically brought up. And then the worst thing that really ticks me off to me was the biggest thing that shows that Charlotte is nothing but like a small town when they would say, well, we don't want to play them because we know we're going to get homered. Just look at how the questions always go. Nobody has asked the Jello's coach, why aren't you playing anymore? Why is it that?
Wait, can I answer that for you, brother? Can I answer that? And you're going in. You're doing a good job. Let me answer this for you. You know why the media won't ask them those questions? Because they are afraid of losing their media pass. See, when you do things in fear, you're not gonna act in self-confidence.
Well, okay, now I don't want to throw shade on anybody, but let me tell you what I noticed, and I don't know whether it was you or somebody else, but within the last 24 hours, I don't know whether it was you or one of your other hosts, they had to check DKM. Do you remember that?
I came on the stream pretty late, and shout out to DKM. I ain't got nothing against him, but
no, I don't have anything against DKM. All I'm saying is that what I have personally noticed was he was really, 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 really big on LeVar way back when, and now recently he's basically coming off like what the media is trying to, what people to say about LeVar. LeVar didn't have that much to do with Jermaine Jackson and Melo hooking up. When I followed that all throughout the thing, and I know that LeVar had a whole lot to do with Jermaine Jackson. And then one of the other callers called him on it and basically said, hey, look, man, you were one of the ones promoting LeVar when all this started. And it's just disappointing that you're taking the view of what the media is. Now, this was my question. You guys would know the truth in this. My question is this. I'm thinking that you got somebody from another country, they come over here, and the Hornets aren't dumb, so they give them some passes, give them the access, a little bit of access to tone down the anti-rhetoric. I mean, that's just my take, okay? What I did notice after that guy made that comment, he came out with another video stating that Jello was the best shooter in North Carolina. So, like I said, for those of you that followed it, and I like DKM, okay, but somebody had to call him on it yesterday on another show. But regardless on all that, I just hope that LeVar, Melo, Lonzo, Jello, that they're all sitting back and taking note on this. Because from my standpoint, James Borrego and the Charlotte Hornets and Mitch Kupchak. See, I blame Mitch more than James Borrego because they're all doing what Mitch wants. And see, I'm hoping that Mitch is going to get the same thing that David Griffin is going to get after this year for letting Lonzo go. See, and that's just my take on it. All these guys, I was mad at Borrego. I was mad at Jello's coach. And then I realized, no, Mitch Kupchak is sitting back calling the shots. They want to run their own little narrative behind all this. And I'm saying Melo is not going to forget this down the road. And what they don't understand is that they don't have no financial control over Melo. None. So, yes, he could take the rookie contract and then say, I want out. But that's probably going to be after another team has already said, if you get offered to get out of your contract, we're going to pick up you and your brother. My question to you is, what are your feelings on the ability of another team just picking up Jello, even if it's just for a 10-day contract, because they realize what the media, what they're going to gain from a positive standpoint. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you is, do you think that the Bulls picking up the kid that was playing for the Lakers, Matt McClung or whatever his name is, instead of Jello, that was a partial way of them saying, Lonzo's not calling any shots up here. We're doing what we need to do. And see, my attitude about that is, don't think that went over either Lonzo or LeVar's head. That's my feeling on it.
And let me say, shout out to Shanker. Been subscribed to this channel for a while, man. Salute to you. He said, small market team, big market player. And you're right. LaMelo is a big market player. And he sees things differently now. He sees things a lot differently now. As for what you said about DKM, shout out to DKM. Great channel, doing great things. In fairness to him, you know, some people may change on an opinion, but do I think he disliked LeVar? I can't say that. I don't think he disliked him. I think that he sees it a lot differently, and it happens. Now, I'll say this about the Bulls. Mac McClung is a very good player. Should have been drafted. We know the Bulls, they run a dribble drive offense. So that means they like guards that can handle the ball, that can attack the paint. And he kind of fits with what the Bulls do. Do I rule that out against Jello? No. I don't rule that out. Maybe they could still get Jello. But I will say this. I'm up for another team getting Jello. If you are not using Jello the right way, if you're just going to use them for clout like the Greensboro Swarm has done, right? Putting his face on media tickets, posters, and you barely playing them and just using them, he needs to go to a different team.
Well, this is my question, and I guess, I look at it like this. Jello would be in the game. They would look him off. He would be wide open. They come down the floor, and they just look him off. And then when he's not on the floor, then they pass the ball to the side of the floor he was on. And my question is this. You can't tell me that loser video choreographer or coordinator coach doesn't see that. It's almost like the coach and the team are all in on it. They don't want Jello around, and they're indirectly being passive-aggressive, basketball-wise. That's just my take on it.
Exactly. You're always welcome to call in. And again, on Raw Truth, everyone has a voice. Everyone has an opinion to share. Shout out to all the people in New England. Question, man. What got you liking this channel, my brother? I just wanted to know from a fan's perspective.
Actually, it's really easy. I've been following the Balls since about 2016. And then I've noticed that you, AB the Hero, there's several of you guys that always see the story behind the story. And you're one of the ones that sees the story behind the story. So that's why I always watch you guys. You're going to laugh when I tell you, this is a side note. I'm my YouTube account. I got kicked out of the YouTube account because I'm not a Trumper. And I went in on Trump pretty hard. Right. And I got a notification saying that my account was going to be was going to be terminated for violation of community rule guidelines. So, you know, I don't have a URL. It's just that logging into YouTube and signing in and being able to make a comment, I can't do that. And I've had a bunch of my friends go, well, here, let me give you my username and password. And I said, no, I'm old school. You know, if these losers can't take the truth, I don't have a problem with it. So, but I do I am able to log on and look at everything. I just can't make any comments now. So I want to thank you for allowing me to have take up a little bit of time to express my side of being you're going to laugh when I say this, being a 74-year-old geriatric that really appreciates what you guys are doing, because you guys are the future. And I just can't say enough about what you're doing, even with DKM, AB the Hero, all the guys that are calling it the way it is, and the ladies, right. I can't say enough for you guys. And I'm just so glad that you guys are calling them out, because something needs to be done here. And I just hope and pray that James Borrego and Michael Jordan and Mitch Kupchak may have won the skirmish, but I can guarantee you Lamelo's going to win the war. Because like LeVar said, they can't stop all three of them deciding they're going to want to play on the same team at some point in time. And it won't be a money factor. And this is my question to you, and then I'll get off the phone. Do you think that there will be a team that'll say, wait a minute, we're at the bottom of the well. Why don't we just go ahead and give Jello a 10-day contract and see what happens? What do we have to lose? We're going to get all this media attention. We're going to sell more jerseys, and who knows? We might even be able to get one of the other brothers down the road. So my question to you is, you can't tell me that they hate LeVar so bad that they're willing to cut off their nose to spite their face, unless there is some kind of league-wide blacklist to make it hard for LeVar's speaking things into existence.
Yeah, here's the thing. I've always said this about LeVar. He's not perfect, just like anybody else is not perfect. And the reason why I state that first, so I want everybody to have an understanding, because they think that every human being has to be some type of self-righteous person. And to be honest, the people who try to act like they're always self-righteous, the people who try to act like they're holier than thou, are some of the most corrupt people around. Now, on this show, I always give thanks, peace, and the blessings to the Most High, but that's paying homage. But I'm talking about people who are just, it's weird. It's like, when the slick talking people, they tell you something and you think it's the word, and then behind the scenes, they're not what they are. You learn this in life. Again, when it comes to playing time, LaMelo playing time, what he may do, what they try to do, it's all about agendas, man. Let's keep it a bug. It's not about no freaking parents. These organizations don't care about what a parent says. If I had a kid in the NBA and I'm talking like I'm talking, they ain't worried about me. I'm not in the league. If I had a kid that's in the NBA and I'm talking my trash, they're ignoring me. They're not gonna pay no attention to me. No offense to LeVar, but he's not in NBA offices. So why would they? You get what I mean?
Yep.
Now that's really a conspiracy. That's just like a phony conspiracy. Like, that a parent's gonna stop this. That's not common sense.
Exactly.
I mean, it's all about agendas, man. This is coming from me. You've been listening to my show for a while. I've been objective this whole time. I've had things where I disagree, but what have I always said when I disagree with LeVar? What have I always said? Well, they ain't my kids. That's his kids.
Right.
See, they got to explain that better. They just, at the end of the day, they're not your sons. Whoever that says he got to do this and that, they're his sons. Even when I disagreed, I said, hey, at the end of the day, they're his sons. They're not my sons.
Exactly. So I'm not a conspiracy type person, But one of the things that was a big reminder to me was, as far as the media goes, what ESPN did to the player that Deion Sanders signed. He was number one up until he signed. Then they made him number two. Remember that?
Right.
The football player, I think his name is Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Travis Hunter.
Yeah, he was number one. And then after he signed with Jackson State, ESPN said he was number two recruit in his class. So that told me a whole lot. You know, they want to control everything. And, I'm, you know, like I said, I apologize for taking your time, but I want to thank you and everybody else, including DKM, AB the Hero, everybody, for chiming in, because, see, this is what the major markets don't want out there. They don't want people asking, why does Borrego only chastise Melo and not everybody else? And the LeVar was absolutely right when they was talking about MJ, and they, well, do you think Melo gets advice from MJ? And LeVar made his comment about, well, when milk is sour, you throw it out. He says the game has changed. But what the most salient thing LeVar said that the media doesn't want, they think is cute, but it's 100% correct. He made the comment. He said the Hornets been around for a long time. Why does Michael Jordan have to wait until my sons get to Charlotte to tell them how to win? And it's 1,000% correct. So, you guys are, to me, is like David, and the major media is Goliath. That's the way I'm looking at it. So anytime I want truth, I don't even deal. The only thing I deal with ESPN for online is to get scores. I go to NBA.com for anything else. But you guys, it's kind of like, well, if you want to know what's going on, just dial into any of them, and I spend a lot of time able to do that. So I'll know something's wrong. You're going to laugh when I say this. I'll know something is wrong if when I get off the line, I no longer am able to even get YouTube on my computer. But I haven't given my name, so they're going to have a hard time finding me. But
right
at any rate, I just want to thank you for what you do and the way you do it, and how objective you and a lot of the other hosts are with their show. And I'm going to get off the phone now.
Can I ask this one thing, man? I appreciate that. Before you go, my brother, what is the reason why you decide to watch DJ's Raw and Cut Truth? We're trying to hear the fans' perspective, man. They seem to like it. What is the reason? What is the reason, the main reason you watch this of Raw Truth?
Basically, because I call it objective realism. That's what it is, objective realism. Not to be philosophical, but in my younger years, I used to be an objectivist. And being an objectivist, reality is one of the things you deal in. Purpose and self-esteem are like the three cardinal things. But that was when I was really young and dumb. I'll put it like that. But you guys call it the way it is. See, you don't have anybody slipping you money to push this agenda. And to me, you're carrying the banner for the non-majority viewers, as you've got ESPN, you've got these other guys that have their morning shows, and then you have DJ's Uncut Truth, AB the Hero, to a certain degree, DKM. You guys, when you turn on your show, there's a connection, and there's I don't want to call it a street connection, but there is a familiarity connection that when you guys are talking, you go, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it's almost like when you turn on you guys, you're going home. So it's kind of like what I call the basketball, I don't want to call it basketball new spirituality, but I'll just say this, that you guys are calling it the way it is, and the media has their own agenda. And when you juxtapose what you guys say and what the media is doing, it gets really clear real quick who is really telling the truth. And that's the reason why I listen to you guys say. So, like I said, major media thinks that most people, especially minorities, that they're on dog food. That's what they think. And you guys are the ones going, no. Let me tell you what's really going on. And that's what I look out for. When you guys go, no, you need to look at this. They might be doing this, but I think it might be this. That's what's important to me. So the way I look at it, major media is your negative control. So, let them go ahead and keep doing what they're doing, because all they are doing is making your viewership go up.
Exactly.
So let them go ahead and keep doing what they're doing. More and more people are going to be coming over, looking at your host podcasts and stuff. And I'm not just talking about minorities. People that deal in objective truth don't see color. They see results. And that's what's going to happen. So let major media go ahead and play their little stupid games. You guys, and I think the proof is, just look at how your membership is going up. There's the proof right there.
And you know what's crazy about it? When I do YouTube, I got a full-time job. I got responsibilities. I live on an island.
Right.
I don't need anybody's life. I'm not trying to be like anybody else. I'm trying to be myself. If I really decided not to do YouTube, I would have been well off smoking cigars in the beach, chilling. But I did this because it's something that has to be spoken about. It's something that has to be stated. It's something that has to be talked about. We gotta have more independent media. That's why I would say I couldn't work for mainstream media, being told what to say, what questions to say, what to ask. I couldn't do that. Consciously, I couldn't do that.
Here's the one thing that I do want to make a request for you and everybody else to do. Please do a show, an extended show, on what LeVar Ball has done, how he has changed the not just marketing, but he's changed the whole paradigm of blacks in the NBA. It really got to me that up until he had the JBA, a lot of those guys, if you didn't practice, you didn't get paid that week. And no sooner than LeVar comes out with the JBA, then all of a sudden everybody gets $35,000 a year. But you didn't see anybody in the G League saying, "Hey, LeVar, we really appreciate what you did," because major media and the NBA tried to act like, "Oh, it was in the hopper all along. We were going to do this all along." Yeah, right. So, my thing is, trust me, you do a show where you say, LeVar has had a whole lot of misses, but this is how he has changed the NBA, how he has changed players looking and seeing their own self-worth. And I think therein lies where major media and even the Michael Jordans, they don't like it. Because like LeVar has said, why should I worry about getting a slice when I can have the whole damn pie? And then for all those that want to say, well, you can't compete against Puma or a Nike or whatever, and it's like LeVar said, all of my boys have their own shoe. You guys are getting 40, 50 million. I'll put it this way. You guys are getting over $10 million a year. Get your own shoe. Have it made. I mean, I did the research on it. Cost you what? It's just for your size, about $2,500 to get your own shoe made. And then if you want to sell some to the people in your town, that's your money. But he's changed the financial consciousness of a lot of people. And then the other thing that, from my standpoint, that needs to be done, and it can be NBA players, but I would advise towns, especially towns that have a lot of minorities in these, like, small towns in these states, the people that's in the legal profession, there needs to be some sort of consortium formed where they can go in and identify these kids coming up through high school and get them on the right path. The biggest problem that I have always seen before LeVar Ball was that you'll have a high school player that is really good, but he's in the ghetto, and a coach or a representative comes around. The mother sees the coach or the representative as the father figure, the philosopher. He's going to get us out of the ghetto, so you do exactly what he says. That's what's been the mantra. So somebody needs to step in on that level, a group that's saying, no, wait a minute, this is what you need to do, and we're not going to let them take advantage of you. So, but if you could do a show on Ball and how he has affected or is affecting the NBA, the G League, and then juxtapose that up against major media. No, I would be the first one to draw blood with that. I guarantee you, everything is going to jump on the needle scale when you do that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Man, thank you for this call, man. You're welcome to call anytime.
All righty, you care, okay?
All right, peace and blessings to you. Happy holidays.
All righty, bye-bye.
That was Rich from New England. Yes, man, these calls ain't learn. I ain't gonna lie. These calls have been like this calling stuff, and I like the formula to it. As long as you're respectful, hey, you can talk about whatever you want on here. When you call in, you just gotta be respectful and allow others to talk. But the number is 857-799-9625. We've been having good calls all day. This is the People's Channel. And I'll say this, anybody that's doing YouTube that talk about ball content, I don't think if someone has a different opinion, I don't think they're part of old media. I just think, sometimes people may change how they view things. Doesn't mean it's hate, doesn't mean it's dislike for anybody. Shout out to all the content creators. Y'all doing your thing. It's not easy. It's really not easy, but for the people, man, it's definitely something. So that's the number on the screen right there, 857-799-9625. This is Raw Truth. Nicole Power said, great points. Let me see. HL Kid said, my guy up there preaching appreciation, brother. Yeah, man. I like that this new way of things is allowing everyone to say what you think on the situation. Again, I've told you all from the beginning, I have no ego in this YouTube game. I want everybody to eat. I want everyone to do well. And you can hope for that without putting people down. So I'm not going to be putting anybody down on this channel. I may disagree, but I would not be putting anybody down. I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't raised to hate on my own people, to hate on someone I disagree with. You could disagree, but as long as you can hold an intelligent conversation, that's what it's all about. Douglas Golden Shot said, good point. It was great points. Great points. That's what we like to see. Ashley said, exactly. HL Kid says, man, DJ, this call-in show is the ticket, brother. I love it. This is lit. It is, man. Like this is like, shoot. You know the powers of be are tripping because I don't think everybody got their notifications. Mobley says, Coach, I told you he lost the team a long time ago. Yeah, James Borrego definitely lost his team, man. Again, look at the eyes. Look at the how they do things and set that up. It just doesn't look right. It's not there. Something is missing. Y'all make sure to hit the like button. And again, don't be afraid to call in. All opinions are welcome. Shout out to Juju Knows Hoops. Subscribe to his channel. He's like, damn, I'm late. Hey, as long as you're here, brother. Here's the phone number if you want to dial in and call and talk about what's going on with the Hornets. Let me see. Road to Mill says, do you see Melo and Jello? Did you see Melo and Jello were born left-handed, but LeVar changed it? LeVar's a genius. That it was a genius move, no matter if you like him or not, to make his kids, to train his kids, not make, but to train his kids to be ambidextrous. That's genius. I did not know that Lamelo and Jello were predominantly left-handed starting out. But if you're a basketball trainer, coach, etc., teach the kids how to go both hands, to dribble in both hands, no matter if they're right hand dominant, no matter if they're left hand dominant. Look at a player like Julius Randle. Julius Randle will have more impact if he wasn't so left hand dominant. That's the scout report on Julius. When he go on that baseline, he about to do that little power spin move, he's going left. Mobley says, we play at disadvantage 4 or 5 on offense. At least the boys can score. The rotation is horrible. No one have a motor that he puts on the course is horrible. Yeah, it's the rotations are killing this team, man. It's killing this team, man. They got to do better. But I want to thank everybody for showing love to the channel. Make sure to like this video, share this video, share through all social media platforms, subscribe to Juju Knows Hoops and many other content creators. Subscribe to DKM, subscribe to AB the Heroes, subscribe to Flight Sports TV. Also, if you're a fan of Lonzo, subscribe to Jay Strokes. Jay Strokes, very underrated YouTuber. Very underrated. Ashley says, I'm going to read some of these comments before I roll. She says, yeah, when you train left-handed person to be right-handed, they actually become ambidextrous. I'm remain left-handed in writing, but I'm ambidextrous in everything else, including sports. Yeah, I'm kind of that way too. I know it's random, but I've trained myself to be a little bit ambidextrous. You know, I work in offices, dealing with paperwork. You know, a stressful job, but I love my job, and I tinkered with it, so I know how to. I'm really right hand dominant, but I could write left hand. Actually, it's improved in my writing speed. My writing speed has been a lot better than what it was 10 years ago. Road to Millie says, I think Melo should leave Charlotte. He talks as if he wants to be there forever. Well, he's young, and like all young players, even LeBron James, when he was in Cleveland, it sounded like he was going to stay there forever. All I'm saying is you never know what these young players will do. You never know. because one move could be different than the other. You just don't know. And he'll figure it out. One thing about Lamelo, he's Mr. One-on-One. He's he's gonna be the face of this league. I really feel like it. As long as there's not no weird energy or anything, I think he can be the face of the league one of these days. It may not be now because of, let's be honest, he's not being treated like he's the franchise guy. And that has to be fixed. But before I go, I want to say I enjoyed everyone's presence here. Let's make sure to do everything in positivity. Make sure to give back if you haven't. Give back to the needy this holidays. There's a family that doesn't have gifts. There's a family that doesn't have food. Find a shelter to help out. I'm starting to do that this year, and you couldn't believe how joyous they were to see somebody helping them out, to see somebody giving a damn about them, caring. That's what it's all about. Sometimes as human beings, we get so selfish and think we better than everybody. We think we try to show off. We try to, look at me, look at this, look at that. When it's not about that. See, when you see yourself as no different than the next human being, you live a life with peace and gratitude that's unexplainable. We all got to get back to that common decency, the common love for each and every human being on this planet. And if we do that, if we operate in that accord, then we can have world peace. But it starts with your conscience. It starts with your mind. It starts with your foundation. You are who you associate with. You are who you collab with. Let's get back to that. So shout out to the subscribers. I want to also say shout out to my mother who listened to my show. She listened to other YouTubers as well. She's enjoying this new YouTube stuff. Mom, I love you. Thank you for always listening in. I know you're listening. You're probably listening right now. I know I won't be there this holidays, but you know what I got to do? I got to work. But I thank you, Mother, for bringing me into this world and to have that relationship that we have, that I could talk to you about everything. Thank you for all you have done for me in my life. The reason why I have success in my personal life is because of you. I wouldn't be the man I am because of you. I wouldn't dream as big as I dream if it wasn't for you, Mother. So I'm indebted to you. And I know Pops is looking down proud that all of us, all of his sons and daughters are really, really trying the best to do our best to do what is right. Not what is perfect, but what is right. So, Mother, I thank you. And you know what's so amazing about mothers? And to the ladies in the chat, you know what I'm talking about. My mom has been right on every single thing throughout YouTube. Like when she says, maybe you should do it this way. Maybe you should, if I never listened to it, then I hit her up and say, you know what, Mom, you was right. So thank you for the advice always. Thank you for the love, and appreciate your mothers, man. You only have one mother in this world. And the good thing about my mother, she never emasculated us. She never belittled us. She never, I was so thankful to have both of my parents in my life. You never know. You never know. And Flight Sports TV says he's in the building. Hey, Flight, if you could call in real quick, here's the number. If not, then probably close the show. If you got anything to chime in. Douglas Cope says, that's real, DJ Ron Kutcher. Thank you for your time. DJ, we definitely appreciate you. Salute to everyone today. Great energy, great conversation. Y'all are so happy. Y'all are so awesome. Happy holidays. Happy holidays, everybody. Like I said, give back. Find a way to give back. There's Google for a reason. There's Google for a reason. So shout out to the panel and have a great day.